Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to explain the practical operation of installing the pitch drive assembly. Next, let's learn today's content. Before the pitch drive assembly is installed, we need to prepare the relevant tools and components and confirm that all the necessary tools and spare parts have been prepared. 1. Preparatory work. Select the pitch motor, M2 Allen wrench, M3 hex socket wrench, M3 X8 hexagon socket screws. 2. Installation steps. Pre-installed pitch motor. Insert the pitch motor into the motor mounting hole from the inner side of the hub. Manually rotate the inner ring of the pitch bearing to knead the motor gear and the bearing gear. Then, the next step, insert the motor installation stop mouth completely into the hub installation hole. 3 pitch drive motors are installed on the fan hub. They are respectively installed at the roots of the blades, the pinion and the pitch gear on the motor shaft mesh. When the motor rotates, it drives the blades to rotate. The pitch angle can then be changed. The variable pitch drive motor with 3 blades is relatively independent of the related components. The pinion and the pitch gear on the output shaft of the motor mesh. When the motor is rotating, drive the pitch gear to rotate. The pitch angle can be changed accordingly. We should know that the pitch drive motor can be a 4-volt DC or AC motor. Attention, students! At this time, the pinion is driven by a large proportion of deceleration through the gearbox. Check whether the end face of the motor gear is aligned with that of the reducer bearing gear. This is extremely important. If not aligned, the height difference needs to be measured. Remove the pitch motor. Then use an M2 Allen wrench. Use a tool to loosen the M2 lock screw on the motor pinion. Then proceed to the next step. Then measure the height difference of the installation. Adjust the position of the gear end face. Pre-tighten the M2 lock screw. If the end face of the motor gear is aligned with that of the pitch bearing gear, then this step is omitted. 2. Installation steps. Pre-installed pitch motor. Insert the pitch motor into the motor mounting hole from the inner side of the hub. Manually rotate the inner ring of the pitch bearing to knead the motor gear and the bearing gear. Insert the motor installation stop mouth completely into the hub installation hole. Align the screw holes of the motor and the hub. Use an M2 Allen wrench. Install 8 M2 by 8 hexagon socket screws on each of the upper and lower parts of the pitch motor. Slightly pre-tight. Measure the gear clearance with a feeler gauge. Manually rotate the pitch bearing. Mesh the bearing gear with the pinion of the pitch motor. And insert a feeler gauge into the back clearance of the meshing gear. Ensure that a 0.5 mm feeler gauge can be inserted into the gear clearance. A 0.75 mm feeler gauge cannot be inserted into the gear clearance. If the above requirements are not met, then remove the M2 by 8 hexagon socket screw of the pitch motor. Rotate the pitch motor by 22.5 degrees. Reinstall the M2 by 8 hexagon socket screw. Repeatedly measure the gear clearance until the requirements are met. Three precautions. The first point, adjust the locking screw of the pinion of the pitch motor. It is necessary to ensure that the end face of the pinion is aligned with that of the large gear. Ensure that the end faces of the two gears are parallel. Ensure that the gear clearance is between 0.3 and 0.75 millimeters, and measure it with a feeler gauge. Inspect the end face of the gear, flatness and adjustment of the meshing end face. The holes are precisely aligned during the pre-installation of the motor. The gears mesh evenly. Gap fine-tuning. The above is the installation of the pitch drive assembly. I hope all the students can master and understand it. Thank you all.